Hey there, I'm Steve, and welcome to Jam Center Entertainment. And welcome to the conversation. Just before we get started, there are many ways you can help. You can like and subscribe so you never miss a conversation. But most importantly, please share this video. Get the word out there's a community we can talk about all the things that we love. I recently just saw The Shift, starring Christopher Polaha, Neil McDonough, Elizabeth Tabish, Sean Astin, Emily Rose, Rose Reed, Jordan Alexandria, John Billingsley, and Paras Patel. I saw The Shift shortly after I saw Silent Night, and I wasn't expecting to see two unique movies back to back that strangely kinda have similar stories. Here's where the similarities are, and this is where they end. About a guy that loses their son, his wife leaves him. The Shift is way more complicated than that, and so is Silent Night, but those are very coincidental similarities between these two movies that I saw back to back. What makes The Shift unique is based on the Bible story of Job. Now, one thing I thought was going to be a problem while I was watching this movie was that it's a bit on the nose, so much so where the main character, Kevin, tells the story of Job. I'm getting ahead of myself though, so let's go back to the beginning. It starts out with Kevin in a lake, and he's narrating. Now, he only narrates twice, the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie, so it's not something you have to worry about through the movie. He says he's never been in this lake, and he's never walked these shores. This is not his world. So when the movie starts, it's at the 2/3 mark, more or less. It's just setting up the premise that people can shift between parallel worlds. It goes back to the past, where Kevin's at a bar, and he's spinning a AA coin. He's made an achievement. He's been sober for X amount of time. I can't remember what the coin says exactly, but he's sober. But in front of him is a beer, and he's about to drink it when a woman comes over, and she says one of the worst pickup lines possible, because she was dared by her friends that are sitting in a booth. And her name is Molly. First, Kevin is a little offended by it, but then they start to have a little rapport between each other. And eventually they get married, and they have a son. And the son goes missing, and that tears them apart. Kevin is on his way home from work one day. He's on the phone with his wife, and he gets into a car accident. And this man comes to help him. He falls unconscious, and then he wakes up in an alley with the man that helped him. This man calls himself the benefactor, where in actuality, he's the devil. That's not a spoiler. They make it plainly obvious, like, shortly after they introduce him. And if you watch the trailer, it's pretty obvious. The benefactor explains to Kevin that he has shifted him to another world, and that the woman he was on the phone with wasn't actually his wife. It was a variation of his wife. Naturally, this confuses and makes Kevin angry. He wants answers. And the benefactor's like, yeah, sure, come over and have a bite with me at this cafe. Everyone in the cafe is terrified that this man, benefactor, has walked into their building, because nothing ever good happens when he enters that building. He's still explaining to Kevin what he does and how he wants to recruit him to do work for him, and if he works for him, Kevin will always be taken care of. This is the lie that the devil tells everyone. This particular Kevin is the first Kevin to tell the benefactor no. Instead of answering him, he starts praying. This doesn't sit well with the benefactor, and so he leaves him in this world alone, and 5 years go by. Within those 5 years, Kevin makes the best of it. He keeps faith, he helps people where he can, and he starts writing down the Bible verses he does remember, or at least to the best of his ability. And he has a friend named Gabriel that he hands these papers off to so that others can read it. At the same time, Kevin is trying to get a hold of what's called, I think it's called a deviator? It's a device that allows the devil to shift people from world to world. And he's also trying to narrow down which world his Molly would be in. How Kevin tries to figure out which world his wife is in, there's this thing called viewing. You sit in this chair that's surrounded by these bulbs, and there's a remote that you can click through different worlds, and a projector shows the worlds in front of you. They don't go into how it works, but it's unique to every person that sits down in this chair and has the remote. And he's looking for his wife. Now, the way that the viewing is supposed to work is that it shows all the variations of yourself. And he's done this time and time again, no luck finding his wife, until one day he does. And this freaks out the guy who runs the viewing station, named Russo. And he says, okay, that's enough for that. You're going to get me in trouble. Come back another day, we'll do this again. And he does, and then all he does is find his wife in different realities. And then that's when the movie really gets going. This entire movie is edge of your seat suspenseful. Because, yeah, I know the story of Job, but it's not told like this at all. This is far more exciting than the Bible story. Even though the Bible story is very informative and gives you a good lesson to learn. But I'm a little worried about it being in theaters for long because last week there were 4 or more showings for it. This week on the weekend, or at least on Sunday, there was only 1 showing for it. Don't worry, Angel Studios, this is my second movie I've seen by them, another one that I really love. They have a way of you seeing the movie or helping others see the movie. All you need to do is go to angelstudios.com/theshift. You can claim your free ticket there, or if you want to help others see it, and I recommend that you do, you can purchase a ticket for someone who may or may not be able to afford it, or you can gift it to someone and you can go see the movie. You go to the link that I'm going to provide below, you put your zip code in, it tells you the theaters that it's going to be available in. So while you can, I definitely recommend you see this in theaters, and when it comes out on Blu-ray, you got to get this on Blu-ray. Those are my thoughts on The Shift. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and live your imagination.